let's talk about your freelance fee structure. So this is like how you get paid in what chunks and when. So in general, like it would be best if you could get paid 100% of your fee upfront. And that's certainly something to aspire to, but also I understand from the client perspective why they would dangle out a portion of your fee, in the future, as far as you actually completing the work before you get it. And frankly, if I'm a client, for the most part, I'm going to want that too. I'm going to want to maybe give you some money upfront to do the work with me. And I'm going to want to have the rest of the money deliverable when you actually complete the work. One thing I will say is that just about the worst position that you can be in, unless this is a very intentional structure from your perspective, is after the work performs. You don't want to wait for the work to perform in order to get paid, especially if you're doing like marketing type work, because there's an old Gary Halbert story about all the reasons copywriters don't get paid, and it is that his list of like the top 10 reasons copywriters don't get paid is all 1 through 10 client screws it up, and so waiting for your new marketing to go out in the market after the client has, messed with it a million times over and all of that, like that's not an effective way to structure your fees. So like, what's the best? And this is based on my freelance work since 2010. This is consistently what I've done, which is some form of a fee split. So usually what happens is that I'm paid to do the work. So I'm like paid to start the work, and then I'm paid when the work is done. And sometimes at various points, I have been paid early to reserve a spot on my calendar when I've chosen to do that. Actually, it was at one point Clayton Makepeace wanted to reserve a whole bunch of spots on my calendar, and he said, "Can I just send you a bunch of money up front?" And I said, "Yeah." And so some examples of this, like if you're just going to get paid to start the work and when the work is done, this is a really easy fee structure, 50-50. That's how I've done it with the vast majority of my contracts. You pay me 50% to start the work, to reserve the spot on my calendar. And then you pay me 50% when the work is done. And so sometimes that's like, I'm not going to start work for a couple months, calendar's full, whatever. And sometimes it's been a lot closer to when the work has actually been started, but it's been split 50-50. When I've been paid to reserve the spot on my calendar and when the work was actually starting, and then when the work was done, it's been split 30-30-40, which is I get paid 30% to reserve the spot on my calendar. I get paid 30% when when we're, I guess, executing the contract or whatever, because I'm actually starting. Well, no, it's not executing the contract. It's when I'm actually starting the work, when I'm beginning the project. And then it's 40% when the client has approved all of the copy. And like those splits are, in my experience, the best way to split up your freelance fees. I will say if you're going to get paid a retainer using kind of these same principles, I would actually say get paid before the month of work. Or if you're really going to negotiate this, don't get paid after the month of work. Get paid either before you do the work, or on your first month, get paid 50% of your first month's fee. And at the end of your first month, you get paid the other 50% of your first month's fee plus 50% of your second month's fee. So it works out to a full payment there. And then you just continue that 50-50 payment every month afterwards until your final month, where you'd get paid the final month of your final month fee. So that's how I would structure a monthly retainer. Now, what about the amounts? Well, first things first, you should always make sure you're working with good clients, because you are far more likely to get paid if you're working with a great client with a great reputation. And so for me, like my experience for years is that I've been very fortunate to work with great clients, and I really don't question whether I'm going to get that second half of the fee. Like the integrity's been there the whole way. I know for other copywriters, the experience has been different. And so some general rules for how this is structured is the first half, let's say you're splitting it 50-50, that first half of the fee should really cover just your time. Like, what do you need to make per hour? What do you need to cover, bills, to cover expenses, all of that, right? So that first half of the fee should cover your time investment. The second half of the fee should be your profits. So it's the money that you're going to take home that is above and beyond making sure that all your expenses are covered, and you're covered on a bare minimum, like the time to do the work, right? And so that's how I would structure it, is really decide for your fee, how big does it need to be so that the first half is going to cover all of your basic expenses and what you need to be paid on an hourly basis. The second half is what you want to be paid on an hourly basis for the entire project. Like, it bumps it up to that. And then as a bonus, if you can add royalties or pay for performance, like that's really your get rich money. That's what you should consider. That you should never rely on royalties or pay for performance as being like your, covering your bills. That should always be structured into your contract or structured into your fee structure in such a way that's just get rich money. And then it's great when it shows up. But if the client screws something up, or if they never run the marketing, or it turns out they didn't actually want your style of marketing versus they do, then you're not out of being able to pay your bills or whatever for that. If you are if you are interested in learning about copywriting royalties and pay for performance arrangements, as well as copywriting contracts and general fee structure, I actually have a training through my BTMS Insiders training library. I'll include a link in the description. It's called Copywriting Royalties and Pay for Performance, and there is a bonus in there that's an interview that I did a little more than an hour long on contracts and what you need to look for, and important language to pay attention to, and how fees are structured, and all of that. And all of that is part of getting access to the BTMS Insiders training library, becoming a monthly member there. But the link directly to that copywriting royalties and pay for performance training is in the description. Now, what do you think? What's your experience? How much value did you get out of this advice? It's fairly simple, straightforward advice, but for me, like this was huge this has been huge in my copywriting career, just really understanding what to negotiate in terms of my freelance fee structure. So leave a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, how much value did you get and why? Like, what's your takeaway? What's your action item? Also click that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet know to share this with more people like you who would find it valuable. If you know copywriters or other freelancers who might have some questions about fee structure, you can certainly direct them to this video, share it with them directly, and subscribe before you go. You can subscribe here. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com to get my daily emails Monday through Friday for copywriters, marketers, business builders, people in sales, and more, covering content like this. You get these videos, plus there's exclusive content only available for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets subscribers. Again, check out the links. All the links are in the description for everything that I have said here. And I hope, I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value. I hope I've delivered it here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. See you soon. Bye.